Hey, what's going on, everybody? I wanted to make a quick video to talk about some of these allegations of R. Kelly exposing women to uncurable STD. So, when they say uncurable STD, I'm going to assume they mean herpes. And the reason I'm saying this is because there's been several subsequent articles that I found on the internet saying that R. Kelly has herpes or he's given someone herpes, such as this one by Hot 97, written by L'oreal Luchi. Now, I'm actually going to kind of maybe get on L'Oreal Luchi for actually writing a ridiculous article like this. But first, let's just focus on the government and basically R. Kelly. First off, I'm going to say that I think it's a waste of tax-paying dollars to try to prosecute someone for allegations of them exposing someone for herpes or giving someone herpes. And basically, I think R. Kelly has a very basic defense, several actually, for a allegation like this, and it's really just a complete waste of time. Maybe one of the reasons that the government is doing this is because they want to persecute him in the media, right? So then when they get the jury trial, this information will be stuck in their head. This could be one of the reasons that they're doing this, but I think it's absolutely ridiculous for them to seriously pursue someone for something like this. And again, it's because of the simple defenses that R. Kelly could have. If I was R. Kelly's lawyer, I would put the witness on the stand and I would ask a series of simple questions. There's actually two series that I'm going to go through in this video. There's actually more, but it's just going to be a waste of time because you're going to get the point after the first two line of questioning. The first line of questioning would be to put the witness on the stand or the accuser on the stand. And I would say, hey, have you ever kissed your mom or dad? Now, anyone that's lived in a household or had a loving mother and loving father and they spend time with them and they know them, they're going to answer yes to this, right? So the follow-up question would be, can you prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that your mom or your dad doesn't have herpes? Now, I'm not trying to be insensitive. I'm not trying to be cruel. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just pointing out something very, very, very simple, right? Because herpes is a very common disease. And if you can't prove that your mom or your dad don't have it, then how in the world can you go to court and allege that someone else you exposed you to it? Heck, your mama exposed you to herpes. Your daddy exposed you to herpes, right? So let me just show you how common herpes is. So now I'm going to show you in this video, I'm going to show you two different sources of information. The first source of information I'm going to show you is going to be from the United States Center for Disease and Control. And then the second source of herpes information I'm going to show you is going to be from the World Health Organization, meaning it's coming from the perspective of the whole wide world, right? So let's just get on to the United States. Now, there's a bunch of information here. I'm just going to graze over it. You can take yourself over on to cdc.gov if you want to get details. You want to spend hours upon hours reading information about herpes. I really don't. I'm just doing this because I think the criminal case against R. Kelly is ridiculous. I think people should sue him civilly if they believe he's done something wrong. And even that is going to be ridiculous, right? But anyway, basically they did a study from 2015 to 2016, and they found that 47%, really 48% if you want to round up, of people had HSV1, basically cold sores. And then there's about 11% of people that have, or 12% of people that have genital herpes, right? Now, here's the thing. If a person has a cold sore and they don't notice it, and then you don't notice it, and they have oral sex with you, then you can have HSV1 or oral herpes on your genitals, right? So this is where it gets even more confusing. When they typically test, if you go to the doctor and you tell the doctor you want to be tested for herpes, more than likely what they're going to do is that they're going to give you some type of blood test to see if you have the herpes antivirus. Trust me, I did extensive research on this. There's plenty of videos out there that basically talks about the types of tests for herpes. You can Google them and spend as much time as you like. Those videos are out there, right? So basically the point I'm trying to get to, just because you have a sore on your genitals, it doesn't mean that it's genital herpes. I know it sounds crazy. It could be oral herpes on your genitals, right? So basically, there's no way to really tell if it's HSV1 or HSV2 unless the doctor is able to catch the sore with the virus in it. There could be a situation where you have the sore, but the body has already, or your immune system has already eradicated the virus and is no more longer present on the actual sore. So the test that they're going to do on the actual sore probably won't give you any conclusive evidence, right? So there's two types of tests that they can give for culture tests, if you will, or tests on the actual sore. I'm not going to get into it. Let me just say that one is 100% conclusive, right? If you have it, then you can be sure that you have it because you've taken this type of test. I think it's a DNA test, right? But again, the trick with that is that they have to catch the actual sore with the virus in it, right? So this is why this whole thing is kind of stupid. And then we're going to get into my second line of questioning, which is going to shed even more light on it. But let's just go into some more statistics, right? So basically, it goes on to say that basically your chance of catching either of the viruses increases with age. That makes sense. Hopefully, you're not having sex when you're a child. And basically, when you become an adult, there's a chance that you're having casual sex. If you are, shame on you. You're not supposed to be enjoying yourself and having sex. But, there's a chance that, if you're an adult and you're having casual sex, you're going to have more sexual partners. Therefore, you could be exposed to this virus and not even know it, right? So the other thing that I found interesting was that women are more likely to have both genital herpes and oral herpes than men, which is kind of crazy. I don't know why. I don't know how. Don't blame me. I'm not saying this. Center for Disease Control is saying this. So don't blame me. Blame them. Right. And then thirdly, they make allegations that basically anyone who is not white has a higher chance of having herpes, right? And then I actually found, I can't find it now, but I found other statistics out there that basically says African Americans are more likely to carry the herpes virus. Actually, let me see here. So genital herpes is a common, no, it's not this. So the federal agency reported that 48% of black women between the ages of 14 and 49 have herpes simplex virus type 2, or HSV2 as it's called. Overall, blacks and women were much more likely to be infected, right? So they're basically saying if you're black, you got it. You know, that's what they're saying. Now, this is coming from let's see where this is coming from. This information is coming from NPR, National Public Radio, but they're getting information from CDC. And I actually saw this information on CDC, but I can't find it right here and right now, right? So let's go back to Hot 97. Let's talk about my second line of questioning. So the second line of questioning, after you've seen all those statistics, right? The second line of question is to put the witness on the witness stand is to say, oh, did you have sex before R. Kelly? Right? And chances are, if they're like any normal American, you're probably having sex. You're like any other American. You're probably out there having casual sex if you're an adult, right? If you're a child, that probably changes things, right? Again, there is one allegation that one of the girls is underage. Maybe she's the one that's making these allegations that he exposed her to an uncurable STD. Okay, fine, whatever. But if they're like any normal person, they were probably having sex in high school or at least trying to. And if they're an adult, they're probably having casual sex, right? Um, Raise your hand or comment below if you're one of the only people in the United States who's not having sex. We want to meet you. Please put your comments below. We want to know who you are, right? But honestly, this line of question basically is going to go end up saying, well, look, you were out there having sex, you were out there having casual sex, and you're putting yourself at risk, and basically you're guilty of a legal doctrine known as unclean hands, right? So basically, unclean hands says that you can't come to court to basically sue for something that you're out there when you're out there doing, bad stuff, right? That's probably the worst way to quote it, but basically, I'm gonna try it again. Unclean hands basically says a wrongdoer can't come to court to take advantage of his own wrong, right? So basically, you're having casual sex with R. Kelly. You know darn well you're not about to marry R. Kelly, right? Or at least from my perspective. From my perspective, anybody that's having sex with R. Kelly knew or should know that they're not about to marry R. Kelly. R. Kelly is a superstar. He's out here making money. He's known to sleep with different women. And even if you do marry him, you're marrying him with the knowledge that he's going to be out there running the streets, sleeping around with different people. So if you had casual sex with R. Kelly, then you were in the wrong, and you shouldn't be able to come to court to basically, sue for something or have the government take someone to jail for doing something that you knew to be wrong to begin with. So let's get on to Miss L'Oreal Luchi. So first off, L'Oreal Luchi appears to be a black woman. So at this point, I'm just going to say this is going to be made under freedom of speech. L'Oreal Luchi is a public figure, right? How do I know she's a public figure? Because she's basically writing articles publicly, bad articles, I might add. She's writing articles publicly, and basically she's posting pictures of herself, and basically, she's making herself a public figure, right? Let me see if we can Google L'Oreal Luchi and see if she pops up. Yeah, so she pops up. She's a public figure. I don't know if she has her own wiki page. Are these the two same people? I don't know. Yeah, she pops up, right? So if you're out there putting images of yourself out there, you're a public figure. So anyway, so my question to you, I'm not saying that you have herpes, L'Oreal Luchi, but the Center for Disease and Control basically says that there's a 48% chance that you have herpes. So, Miss L'Oreal Luchi, how do we know you don't have herpes? So with that note, I'm going to end this video right here. Leave your questions, comments below. I actually want to know if you think the criminal charge of herpes against R. Kelly is nonsense and it shouldn't be allowed in federal court. And I also want to know if you think, Miss L'Oreal Luchi has herpes, because according to the Center for Disease and Control, there's a 48% chance that she does because she's black and she's a woman. So leave your comments below.